guys, my name is Brian. If you're watching this video today, that probably means you are very interested in getting yourself a ferret for you and your family. So what can you expect when you get a ferret? Well, let me tell you, ferrets are awesome animals. They are hilarious. They are clowns in every right. They are very smart, intelligent. They are very mischievous at times, sneaky. I mean, almost any adjective you can think of, a ferret can be that. Ferrets are very cool pets. So if you are interested in getting a ferret, the first thing I would do is recommend that you watch as many videos as you can, like you're doing now here on YouTube. Also, go to the bookstore and check out some of the books they have on ferrets. You may find 3 or 4 books there, maybe even only a couple, because ferrets aren't as well known about as dogs and cats. So a lot of times it's hard to find that really good instructional, educational material that you're looking for, but your bookstore should have a couple books. I would highly recommend that you read those books from cover to cover, and the reason for that, those books are very educational, and they'll tell you all the pros and all the cons, which I'm not going to do in this video. I'll tell you some things to help you make a decision, but those books are great for that. And if you can make it through those books and you're still interested in getting a ferret, then go ahead and get a ferret. That way, check out the books first. That's awesome. Now, from me being a ferret owner, my wife and I have had our ferrets for a few months now. We started off with one ferret, but very quickly realized that we wanted to have a second ferret. So that's probably, apart from doing as much research as you can, I want to stress this to you. Ferrets are addictive, let's say. They're almost like collectible. As soon as you get a ferret and you start playing with them and you realize, man, this thing is awesome, they're so cool and funny, you're probably going to want a second or a third or a fourth, so you're going to start collecting ferrets. So I would highly recommend that when you get a ferret, immediately start planning for the future. So buy the largest cage you can afford. Okay, buy a big one, the biggest one your pet store has, or if you have to, go online and buy one, but buy a big one. Not only just because your ferret needs a lot of room, but again, you need to plan for the future. So just keep thinking. They're addictive. It's kind of like people that get tattoos. Have you ever heard that tattoos are addictive? They get one and they just, whole body gets covered in tattoos. It's kind of like that with ferrets. In fact, you can hear mine making noise now. So Slinky, go to sleep. He always does this when I'm making a video. He just starts scratching and making all kinds of noise. Any case, yeah, so plan for the future. They're very addictive. You're probably going to start collecting ferrets. They're so awesome. Also, I've heard it said that ferrets are hard to take care of. You'll probably hear this from people, but I don't really think that's the case. I think more than being hard, I think that's probably the wrong word. I think it's more like ferrets just require a lot of attention. So if you're the type of person that's gone from home a lot, a ferret may not be the best for you, because you need to be able to devote at least no less than 2 hours a day, as much as 4 hours a day or more to your ferret. And now when I say devote that time to your ferret, I mean that's time outside of the cage. So they need to be outside of the cage 2 to 4 hours a day. Now ferrets are known to sleep like forever. They seem like they do nothing but sleep. But when your ferret is awake, they want to be out exploring and just checking out everything you've got in the room and playing and just doing everything that ferrets do. They love to be out of the cage, but when they're not out of the cage, they love to sleep. It's not uncommon for a ferret to sleep like 18 or 20 hours a day. Now they do get up and take potty breaks and eat and drink water and this type of thing. Oh, while I mentioned food, that's another thing. If you get a ferret, you need to buy the highest quality food you can. Something with the absolute most protein, no carbohydrates. Just protein, 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 protein. Okay. Get a giant cage, you're going to need that. You need time to devote to your ferret. So spend money on the cage as much as you can. Don't spend a lot of money on toys, because ferrets don't seem to play, at least in my experience, the 2 ferrets that my wife and I have, they don't seem to play with the toys that we bought, that we spent a lot of money on at the pet store. They seem to like to play with simple stuff. They like to tunnel underneath the carpet. So if you have a throw rug or something, that's the perfect ferret toy. You can make little tunnels under your carpet. They love that. If you have a box that you're not using, cut some holes in the box. They love that type of thing. If you have some shopping bags that you're not using, ferrets love that. I'm telling you, they will play with that every single day, and it seems like they never get bored of those things. So just simple toys. Yeah, and you can also, if you have other pets, You can have ferrets and dogs or ferrets and cats. Now your cats may get annoyed at the ferrets because the ferret loves to play and it's probably going to terrorize your cat. But of course your cat may just hop up on the counter to get out of the way of the ferret or something like this. But you can have multiple animals in the same household. But as far as I don't have a dog or a cat right now, so I can't speak from experience about how to mix them. Like I said, you need to read books on that. So if you do have a dog or a cat, make sure you read the book that tells you how to introduce them to your ferret. Okay. Now, yeah. So do as much research as you can. Realize that they're a lot of fun. They are hilarious. They're called people call them carpet sharks because they like to dig. They call them fuzz butts because they're fuzzy. They have butts that are fuzzy. Fuzz butts. They're so funny. And make sure you do the research and buy the largest cage you can buy. And don't buy a ferret if you don't think that you have the time to devote to it. Remember, it's not hard necessarily, but it does take a lot of effort. You just have to be very attentive to your ferret's needs. So if you have the room, and a lot of people like to have a ferret. I've heard well, I can't say a lot of people. I think that's not the norm. The norm is you have a caged ferret that's out when it's supervised. Some people have what's known as a free roaming ferret. Now, I only recommend this if you have a room that is specifically, like a spare bedroom in your house that's specifically designated for your ferret. That's the only time I would say have a free roaming ferret. In other words, it has a cage, but the door is always open. Okay, I wouldn't recommend that because ferrets they are mischievous, and they just not only mischievous, but they're very highly inquisitive. They like to explore and check out everything in the room. It doesn't matter how many times they've checked it before, they'll check it again the next time they're out, and the next time, and the next time. And if there's a hole, this big, they're going to crawl in it and they might get stuck or something. So you really need to supervise your ferret, not just for your sanity, but also for the ferret's safety, because you don't want them to get into any kind of trouble they can't get out of. You don't want them stuck behind the refrigerator and get in the fan or something, in the air compressor or something like that. So you need to ferret proof your home. Make sure that, if you've got tons of giant holes in your house and just, I don't really know how to explain it more than that, but you really have to be very attentive to the ferret. Now, look, ferrets are awesome pets. They are so much fun. They're like a mix between a cat and a dog, except they're neither really one of those. They get excited and they bounce around. Now, I know I look crazy doing that, but if a ferret owner that's watching this video will know exactly what I mean. They get so overly stimulated. Have you ever seen a cat out just like bounces? Well, a ferret will do that for just a couple minutes straight. They just go crazy and they'll bounce backwards and hit the wall or run into the window. They are so crazy. They are hilarious. So if you do get a ferret, make sure you have a video camera or at least a camera to take a picture. But that's why you see so many short video clips of ferrets on YouTube, is because they do the funniest things, and they do that not just, you think, oh, I missed it. Well, they're going to do that again tomorrow. You just need to have the camera ready. They do crazy, funny stuff every day. So remember, ferrets are very addictive, but you need to have the time and the money, because they can't, you should take your ferret to the vet, get them a checkup, and buy the best high quality food you can, because if you buy low quality crud for your ferret, the ferret's probably going to get sick and die. You don't want that. You want to have the highest quality food you can afford, the largest cage you can, have as much time as you can to devote to your ferret. If you have that, you won't go wrong having a ferret. They are awesome pets. And I don't know, if there's any questions you have, I don't know if there's something I didn't address in this video, then please feel free to leave me a comment, ask me a question below. If it's something I know the answer to, I will definitely answer that for you. If I don't know, I'll just, I apologize, I don't know, but I'll try to answer any question you have. I'll put a link down below also to the video that I made about my cage, so you can kind of see the size I'm talking about. Get the largest thing you can. Now, my cage, I've changed a lot since I got it. My wife and I have added all kinds of stuff. So the video I'm going to show you is just like right a couple days after, like 2 days after we bought it. So there's nothing really cool to see in it yet, but we've added a lot of stuff and an extra ferret since then. In any case, you guys, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you get a fuzzy butt of your own, a little carpet shark you can bring home and maybe 2 or 3 more. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.